All right, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Growler Healing Grounds. I have another M1161 in my shop. So the story is on this. There's a guy in New Jersey who contacted me. He said, hey, I want to buy this M1161 Growler. It's only about an hour and a half from your house. And I'd like to know if you could pick it up for me, go through it, do the CV boots, do whatever it needs, and then we'll ship it back to him in New Jersey. And then during the process of all this, he ended up sending me this XR311 prototype. So I've been working on this, got quite a bit of different stuff to do to it. It's not quite as easy because I have to figure out what it is and what parts we need for it and stuff like that, but I'm slowly making progress on that. So anyways, he called me back and he said, okay, now I did buy it, can you go pick it up? So last Friday I drove down to El Cajon and I picked this up from the original owner, the guy who bought it from the auction. And it was in pretty bad shape when he bought it. It was missing a lot of key parts. It wasn't functioning, it wasn't running. He put a lot of money into it to get it where it is now. So I just went through and I made about a page-and-a-half list of just small stuff that I need to do to it to get it towards a runner for the guy, so he can just turn the key and go have fun with it. Here's some of the things that was wrong. Like originally, it didn't have the hand priming pump, so it was just missing. There was no pipe or no hose here, nothing. So the previous owner, he put the hose there, they bled it, got the system working. One issue with it is that the fan stays on. If you turn the ignition on, the fan runs constantly. So I already knew what controls that, and it's this sensor right here, is what kicks it on when it gets up to temperature. If you see right here, the sensor is just falling apart. So I need to source a sensor for that so we can fix that problem. I'll do an oil change. I've already got a filter ordered. I've got a fuel filter ordered as well. The fan belt is starting to fray really bad. I've already got the Daco number for that, so I've ordered one of those. It'll be here later in the week. The hood strut right here, it's lost its life. It's the gas that's in it, it's dead. So I ordered one of those from McMaster Car last night. It'll be here on Tuesday morning, I think they said. The convex mirrors, both the convex mirrors were missing. I had a set on the shelf over here in my shop. They're already painted the 383 green, so they're ready to go. So I bolted both those on. That'll save them some money right there. I know there's a guy on eBay that's trying to sell these mirrors for, I don't know, $70 each or something like that. And you could pick these up new at four-wheel supply place for, I think it's $12 or something like that, or $18. It was somewhere in that range. So, but I'll make them a good deal on these used ones. Move down here to the front wheel, and you can see it's got the wheel regulators for the CTIS system, and it's fully functional. It works good. All the regulators are here, which is good. The only thing is we're missing the hubcaps. All four are missing. There's a guy on eBay selling for $82 a piece, which is crazy money for something that simple. But I'll find out from the customer if that's what he wants, to keep it original looking and to protect them as well. At least we know they're available. Coming up over down here to the CV boots. 6 of the 8 CV boots are bad. I think it was the driver's side or rear wheel. The CV boots were still, well, actually they look new, like somebody had already changed them, but the rest of them are going bad. You can see these ones here, passenger side front. There's grease just flinging out of that. That's something we really need to do because you can't have grease flinging all over the exhaust. It's going to stink when you run it. You're going to get water and dirt in there, and then eventually you're going to lose all the grease, and the CVs are just going to go bad on you. Let's see what else we got on here. We come around here. So when I went to move it originally, to get it off the trailer, I noticed that it wasn't going into first gear. And also, something that's related to that is that the speedometer didn't work. So I took the fuse box cover off. I went to check the fuse 15 for the transmission, and the fuse was just missing. So I put a new fuse in it. Transmission works now. It goes into first gear, and it shifts fine. And then the speedometer started working. So that's one good thing. We dodged a bullet there. Fortunately, it wasn't the transmission or the transmission computer that was bad. Something as simple as a 10-cent fuse. Now we come down here to the bottom, and all 3 of the skid plates are missing. The original owner told me that the center one was the only one that came with it. I think it was the center one, and it was bent up so bad he couldn't even straighten it. Plus it had the aluminum ones, which are obviously going to be harder to straighten than the steel ones. Aluminum usually kind of work hardens and it'll just break when you try to rebend it. So I've got to find out from the customer, you know, if he wants the skid plates. If he does, we can source them. We can see if we could find a set. They're probably gonna be pretty expensive. And honestly, if he's just driving this thing on the street as a, you know, just something to go cruise around and have fun in, he's not gonna need them. If he's gonna go off-roading in it, then he should put them on. You know, it'd be a real good idea to put them on. So we'll get to that. I have to talk to him about that and see what he wants to do. The rear deck plates, this deck plate here belongs right here over the air tanks, and it's there. It was just missing all the bolts, so I threw it in my pickup truck before I towed this thing home. So I can bolt that back down. That's not a problem. As far as the back cover here with the hinges on it, it's missing altogether. Fortunately, I have one over here in a pile that I got that I bought at the Gulf Planet auction. So if he wants to buy that off me, I'll be able to put that on and sell it to him. Batteries, I need to make some new battery terminals. I'm just going to replace this whole harness because it's already been shortened and the lugs are broken on both ends, and it's got some kind of weird lug on lug setup going on here. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I'll turn the batteries around, put them where they belong. It needs a battery hold down. I'll have to either make something or source one for it. It's not too big of a deal. Coming over here to the air compressor, the filter is just decayed. It's just coming apart. I'm sure this is the original filter. It's not the first one I've seen like this. It's just rotted. So I've already got those sourced too. I already know the part number for those, and I'll have that this week. That won't be a problem getting that. For the rear steering system, it's still welded, so I'm going to contact the seller and find, or the buyer, and see if he wants me to cut the welds on those. You know, if he plans on using the rear steer. It's also missing some bolts up here for the rear steer bracket. Not sure what happened there, but I definitely need to get those back in. And then when you're coming over to the controller for the rear steer, it's missing, you know, all the mounting bolts. It just has one screw, one bolt kind of hanging on, sort of. Not even really holding it in. The joystick is all bent and jacked up. So I'm going to see if I can just source the joystick and change it. If I can, that'll save him a lot of money. It works. I mean, it'll work how it is. Or if he wants to buy the whole module, which we'll have to see if we can find one of those for sale. The dash panels are missing a lot of screws. A bunch of bolts for the center section are all missing. So I was able to go to Tractor Supply and pick up those. They're just a 1/4 inch bolt or 5/16 bolt. That's not a big deal. I already got those. A lot of screws are missing for the center dash. The Ace Hardware by my house, they have a really good selection of stainless steel and kind of custom bolts and screws. These are a 1032 stainless with an Allen head. So I went and bought about 15 of those so I could replace them. You know, bought stainless washers as well. Going to the gauges, the oil pressure gauge doesn't work, so I need to see what's going on with that. See if it's just a wire missing, or see if the sensor's bad. Fuel gauges work. The temp sender, I don't know what's going on with it. It doesn't get up all the way up to temp, so I don't know if the sender's working right. So I've got to troubleshoot that and see what's going on. Rear suspension, or the suspension system, it works perfectly. It lowers down, it raises up, everything works good on that. Stays up overnight, which is more than I could say for mine. My poor Growler over here. I come out in the morning and it's half squatted down, so this one's doing pretty good. All the lights work, the horn works. It just has one light bulb that's burned out. It's not a big deal. It's this right front one. It's just a regular bulb in there. I just have to pop the bulb out and see what the number is on it so I can go down to O'Reilly's or wherever and pick up a bulb for it. So other than that, I mean, it's in really good shape. The guy that bought it put a lot of money into it already. So it's not going to take me very long. It's just all dependent on how long it's going to take me to get the parts. You know, it's Memorial weekend, so that I lose a day already just on getting the stuff that I need for it. So as soon as I get all this stuff, I'll be able to just jump on this thing. I should have it done, hopefully within 2 weeks. It shouldn't even take me 2 weeks unless I get hung up on some parts or something like that. The CV boots, I already ordered those at Napa. They're going to be in on Tuesday. Other than that, it's a great little Growler. So I can't wait to get it back together for this guy, and then we can get a shipping set up and get this thing sent home for him so he can have some fun with it and play with this thing. So if you like the video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. That really does help. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. I've got a lot of videos on Growlers. I've got one on that little Mighty Mite out there. I've got a video coming out on that. I did some work on that last week. I've got my growler that I've done a bunch of stuff too. I've got this XR311 prototype for the U.S. Army that I'm working on. So, hit the notification bell and you'll see when I have new videos coming up on these things. And thank you for watching.